All right, joining us right now via the Rude guest hotline. Rude makes the most reliable HVAC equipment in the DMV is our friend Mr. Leslie Shepard. Of course, Shep played 5 years for the Redskins, 18 total touchdowns, over 2,000 receiving yards. Shep, what's up, man? How you been?
Man, I'm good, JP. How you doing?
What up, boy?
What's up, BMItch?
Chilling, baby, chilling.
Shep, a lot of reasons I wanted to have you on, but I did want to start. B was telling us that you suffered a worse but similar injury to the one that Jayden just went through with the dislocated elbow. But I guess you also broke your wrist. Can you tell us? I mean, that sounds painful as hell, dog, so I'm sorry. But can you tell us kind of what that injury was like?
Oh, man, it was, wow. So I did dislocate my elbow. BMItch was right on that. But we was unaware of the wrist being broken to the next day. Excruciating injury, was no surgery required. They had to just replace, put my elbow back into place. And, I had to wear a sling for a few weeks and then, you went straight to rehab. But, man, it's excruciating. The injury itself and the rehabilitation process is grueling.
So I don't know that you can delineate between the dislocated elbow and the broken wrist, because obviously when they happen together,
right,
you got to deal with all of it.
Right.
Specific to the elbow that Jayden's dealing with, was the excruciating part popping it back in? Is that something you just kind of, like you see that people do that with their shoulders, they just kind of jam it back in. Is it similar with the elbow going through it?
Well, it's a sting, it's a burning sensation, but the rehabilitation part is a little bit more difficult than just popping it back, because you got your adrenaline pumping, and they do it fairly quickly. As soon as they got them to the back, I'm sure they just popped it back in. But then you have to deal with the scar tissue and all of that stuff that, recruiting muscle fibers and things of that nature around your elbow and all that. So it's an excruciating injury for sure. But it's not MCL, it's not his throwing shoulder. He didn't tear rotated cup, nothing of that nature. So I think something he can definitely bounce back from. And I don't think he will miss a beat once he get back from his injury.
They said it was no ligament damage and things like that. That's probably vitally important. If you had to say, like, they didn't put him on injury reserve, okay, and that makes people wonder, like, okay, well, could he come back?
Right.
And for me, I can't say no, he won't be coming back this year, but I wouldn't know 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6, I wouldn't know. But I guess it comes down to
I think it's highly unlikely. I think it's highly unlikely that he comes back. Now, especially given the situation of the team right now, it just wouldn't make sense to me, going forward if he came back. But I think it's something he can definitely recover from and not have any effects of his throwing motion or things of that nature. It's his left hand, it's his left shoulder, left arm. It's not his throwing arm. So I think he'll be fine. The biggest hurdle he's going to have is that you're going to have to fight through that scar tissue to build back that range of motion, because you have to have your arm to be a certain percentage in order just even to get cleared to play, right? So that's going to be the biggest hurdle. Once you dislocate your elbow, the percentage of the extension is small, right? So they're going to tell you when you first start, this is what you have to do, and the goal is to get it to a certain percentage. So that's going to be the process, and that's going to take a little longer than 4 or 6 weeks, in my opinion.
So that scar tissue, so it's like they have your arm in a certain bend or whatever in the you said sling. They have to pop that thing, because I know when they did it with my knee, I almost priced the doctor.
Yeah, but see, the physical therapy process is grueling anyway, because the average person probably go to therapy 2-3 times a week tops. If you're an NFL guy, you're going to go to rehab 3 times a day for 5 days, and probably Saturday too if, you play at home during that week. So people don't understand that process. So they're going to give you the measuring stick of where you are. They're going to put it on your arm, and they're going to say, look, this is where you are, and this is where we need to go. So I don't know if BMItch, you've probably been through the process of fighting through scar tissue, but if I could compare it to anything, it would almost be like going to the dentist and getting a root canal on one side and getting your wisdom tooth pulled on the other side, but they don't give you any anesthesia, no medicine. Okay, so you're not getting no numbness or none of that. You just got to sit there without the injection in your gums and just deal with it. So that's how excruciating popping scar tissue is. So, Al Bellamy did mine, and we wasn't friends for at least 2 months. Like, I didn't even talk to him. You know what I'm talking about? Like, for real. Like, I literally didn't like the dude. Like, but that's the process. That's the process. And that's what you have to go through, man. I'm telling you, man. It's not something I wish on nobody. But it's not a knee. It's not a knee. It's not no ligament stuff, but it's excruciating. You know what I mean? To say the least.
See that you saying that? Okay, I understand exactly what you're saying. But for the average person, they just hear an injury and it's an injury. They understand it's different levels to that. It's an elbow, okay?
Right.
And they popped it back in, and he'll be back from it, and probably won't even, if nothing happens on it again, probably won't even much ever think about it again.
Exactly.
But when it's a knee, it's a problem.
It is, and I mean, he might wear a brace that you see some of the, maybe the D ends wearing when they hyperextend their elbow and they come back in 2 or 3 weeks. So he might wear that just for the first few weeks of the season, but he'll be fine, man. I just don't see them trying to rush him back this season, given the whole situation with the team and the injuries and just the luck that we've had this year. So I just don't see him coming back. But it won't affect him going forward, to be honest with you. And I don't think it'll stop him from running or being Jaylen or being a dual threat guy that he is. I've been listening to you guys' theories on injuries and AI and all that. It's just mind-boggling to me. Some of the stuff people say about injuries.
Well, can I ask you something? We're talking with
Sure.
our friend Leslie Shepard, played for the Skins for a number of years, played throughout the NFL. In 1998, had 712 receiving yards and 8 touchdowns. 8 touchdowns on 43 catches.
Touchdown maker, baby.
That's pretty crazy. 8 touchdowns on 43 catches is what is that percentage? Like 22% of your catches went for scores? That's pretty damn good.
Hey, man, you said it. I didn't write a book. I didn't write a book to say throw me the damn ball, but I sure felt that way.
So, dude, I know you and B talk all the time, and
right.
One thing I wanted to ask you about when I knew we were going to get you on was obviously you went through an elbow dislocation, and I feel like you gave us really good insight just to how painful the injury is. But with Terry McLaurin missing the holdout, now subsequently being injured, a lot of people want to draw a line from the holdout to the injury.
Okay.
What have you seen when Terry was on the field and it didn't look good early, then he kind of got going, got hurt, comes back, it looks really good against Kansas City, hurts it again. What, injuries are crazy. What do you equate Terry's really bad, 6-8 month stretch right here to?
Well, honestly, I blame the personnel, the organization, the GMs, honestly. That's where it started. First and foremost, Terry is the nicest superstar in the league. He's the most transparent guy. He didn't play for 55 different quarterbacks. This guy is always available. He's a durable receiver. And he had to wait till the 3 days before the season started to get his contract. I thought that was BS, first of all. So him not being around the team, him not having that camaraderie with Jayden, I think it's a combination of things. But I don't want to equate him not being there to injuries. What people have to realize is that the NFL football is a physical sport, right? It's basically luck. It's not no rocket science to injuries. Either you one of those guys that never get injured, like a Darryl Green that's 185 pounds and never got an injury, or that superhuman person that you're sitting beside, BMItch, who never got injured, right, and played like a maniac on the field. So it's really about luck, to be honest with you. I don't buy into people are injury prone and things of that nature. It's the nature of the game. They just never really had any camaraderie with Terry and Jaylen. Even the first couple of games, it was, all about Debo. They didn't work him in. They didn't get him going early. But Terry's not going to go to the media. He's not going to have nothing ill will to say towards the team or the organization. But I just thought the way they handled that completely just got him, he just couldn't get off to a good start because of that. You know what I mean? Obviously, he signed a contract, but I think that kind of dampened the relationship with him and the ownership, honestly. I mean, obviously, he's a team guy now, but his pride was hurt. You know what I mean? I still think if he had the ability to play, he would play through this year just because that's the guy he is. He's team first, and there's no superstar in the league built like that. So that's one of the reasons why I thought they should have gave him the money. initially. He deserved it. He earned it. But I don't think it has anything to do with him not being here. Maybe, when you're a pro and you're not in training camp and you don't get signed, you're going to obviously be a professional and go out and work and do the necessary things you need to do to prepare yourself for the season. But being around your guys, understanding, how are we going to work with Debo? How what is my transition going to be? What is his transition going to be? How can we complement each other? All that stuff they missed, right? You can't accomplish that in a OTA or a mini camp, right? And again, I think people take it for granted that we lost a lot last year. We lost B-Rob, the physical component. We lost Eckler. You know what I mean? So the team is completely different. You know what I mean, man? It's just, things just didn't go our way this year. But I don't think everybody should just clean the ship. And, I don't think Terry did anything wrong. I think he prepared just like he normally prepared. But again, it's just, it's just nature of the beast when it comes to being a professional athlete. You know what I mean? It's just, it's a physical sport, man, and people get hurt. That's just the bottom line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I
mentioned earlier, Shep. I said, hell, I was hurt. I just played because I didn't want to get nobody. I didn't want nobody to get my job today.
Being hurt and being injured. So you know what I mean. And I truly believe that.
Like today, as soon as you sign a contract, you good. So you might not push yourself as much. And the coaches, the front offices, they hold guys back these days because they paid them.
No, you're absolutely right about that. You're absolutely right about that. Yeah. So, I mean, and let me just say this, too. I think last year, with us being 4 quarters from the Super Bowl, right, I think it was like addict taking a hit of dope for the first time. They just don't they be chasing that high. They be chasing that high every time they go back and they never catch it again. We haven't won like that in this area, and some people have never seen us win like that. So the expectations for this team was through the roof this offseason, and rightfully so. But I just think people just were so overwhelmed by the fact that if we play well, and we was in a game that was very winnable for us. But again, this is a different team, and we was, we'd have hunted this year. You know what I mean? The expectations were so low, and I think it affected how we went about the offseason, the people that we picked up, the trades we made, the things. I think all that kind of had a lot to do with that 4 quarters from the Super Bowl thing. And I think the expectations just was through the roof, and we just couldn't meet them. You know what I mean? And that's just the reality of the beast. But I don't think we're not a good team, and we can't win going forward. That's just my personal opinion.
Yeah.
Well, Shep, I tend to agree with that. I got another stat, just because your touchdown to catch ratio is insane. In 97 and 98,
you got to hire him, Shep. He got to be your promo guy.
In 97 and 98, you had 72 combined catches and 13 touchdowns. That's a touchdown on almost 20% of your receptions. That's freaking nuts.
Hey, you should have wrote the book, Shep.
Hey, I know. But it's funny, back then fantasy football guys used to love me, and I didn't even know what fantasy was. They used to be like, oh, man, you on my team, dude, man. You helped me win a championship. I'm like, really?
I missed the score, too. I didn't realize you ran for one in 98.
Yeah. I used to told him to. Yeah, I should told him to a little bit.
I mean, that's 14 touchdowns over 2 seasons with less than 100 touches.
Hey.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And I only played 1 full season those 5 years that I was here. So think about that.
Yeah, dude, that was 98 when you had 8 scores.
Yeah.
So I tend to agree with you that a lot of fans put the cart before the horse after last year's success. But I kind of think we're 10 games in. It's mid-November now, or it's early November. Like, I think we can safely say organizationally they did too. Because
absolutely.
Like, trading for veterans, giving up draft picks, altered the course of what they said they were building.
Oh, yeah.
And I think we're now at a place where we can properly kind of identify that and question it. You know what I mean?
But
no, absolutely.
I say this though. What else were they supposed to do?
That's human instinct.
I think if they wouldn't have done it, like Neil Greenberg said it earlier, if they hadn't tried to go for it, fans would have been pissed at that too.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm not even talking about the fan perspective. I think it was like to the great analogy you made, Shep, of like getting that first hit of dope and wanting another one. Like it seems like AP and DQ did too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And everybody kind of got caught up in it.
But that's normal. I mean, they felt like if we just do this and do that. But again, you got to look at it like the players that we had weren't great. They were good players, but they was playing way above the expectation of the team and organization. The line, the defensive line, the secondary, everything was going in our favor last year. In order, because you can't just make it to the NFC Championship game and you're a bad team. So a lot of things was just ahead of schedule. And it's human instinct for them to come in the offseason and say, listen, we was 4 quarters away from a Super Bowl. If we do X, Y, and Z, that could get us over the hump. But again, you got to get rid of B. Rob so you can sign Terry, and then Eckler get hurt, and it's a lot of things that we didn't have last year happened this year, and you had to adjust. And Jalen getting hurt again, and things of that nature, you just can't account for. So I still think we are ahead of the curve because we got a hell of a coach in DQ. That's a great leader, and we got a franchise quarterback. And I don't know how many teams in the league can say that. So, I think we can build around that. We got our missing piece in Terry back on the offense. I just think that we're fine. We just got to make some adjustments. You know what I mean? And this year was just a mulligan. We got to take a mulligan this year, man. Just, it happens to the best of teams.
Yeah, Jeff knows what a mulligan is.
Yeah, B doesn't believe in mulligans.
Jeff take him every damn other shot.
Hey, Shep, thank you for making time for us, man.
You,
we really appreciate it.
No problem, man. Always a pleasure.
All right, man. Take it light,
Take care of that elbow, dude. All right, that's our friend Leslie Shepard.
They'll spit knowledge, bro.
I can only imagine B and Shep in the club in like 1997.
Man, we didn't go to the club. We went to restaurants.
I bet you went to lots of places.